Welcome to another video. I'm Ken Marlin, the Windows Champ, and today I'm going to do a product review of the new HP Engage Flex Mini G2. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to go over the new HP Engage Flex Mini G2 computer, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with this guy. Pretty powerful box in a tiny little package. And today I'm going to go over the specs, all the good technical stuff. Then I'm going to show you an actual, the OS running that comes pre-installed on the unit, and kind of click through some of the features and some of the things of the OS with the box running. And then I'll shut it down and we'll finish by actually taking a look at the physical box, open it up, look at the expansion modules and see what you can do to add and how easy it is to add and upgrade the box. So let's take a look at the key features. So starting with the key features of the Flex Mini G2, deployable, durable, manageable. That's what HP calls the box. And starting with deployable, it's got a very compact design. It's got tons of connectivity, and it comes with the VESA mount options, as well as some different power flexibility options. Extremely durable, high quality machine, passes those certifications shown there, has an optional dust filter as well to fit those environments, those rough industrial environments. Manageable, it's got an extended life cycle. In fact, this is probably the number one thing I like about it, is it's got a 10-year life cycle, which matches my Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC product, which also has a 10-year life cycle. And ironically, this box, you can order it with Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC 2024 installed, and you have a 10-year piece of hardware with a 10-year operating system. Great to bundle these two together. And that's why I'm reviewing this product on the Windows Champ channel. It also, beyond the IoT product, has the ability to run regular Windows 11 Pro, of course, as well as some other operating systems, which we'll touch on. It comes bundled with HP Wolf security. So in addition to the Microsoft, if you're running a Windows OS, you get the additional HP Wolf security as an added benefit. And then there's some warranty care pack options. Let's take a look at the life cycle. And I know I'm going to duck down here or just point up, but basically 10 years of life from 2025 all the way to 2035. And so that's perfect. That's exactly what you want from a piece of hardware. Let's look at the ports. For such a small box, I can't believe how many ports this thing comes with. So starting with the front, it's got a USB Type-C and then two USB Type-A's, as well as an audio jack and the power button. On the back, you have tons of connectivity, starting with an HDMI 2.1 and two DisplayPort 2.1, so you can run 3 monitors on this guy. Then you've got two USB Type-A's and then a Thunderbolt with a 100-watt power intake, as well as your RJ45 LAN port. It also has built-in Wi-Fi 7, supports Wi-Fi 7. It also has a padlock loop, which will allow you to lock the case, so nobody will be able to just pop the case open and start taking RAM or your drives or your NVMe sticks out of this guy. You can lock it down with that padlock loop. And then very important, it has 2 flex ports. The flex port on the bottom left gives you a ton of options, including old school VGA, old school serial, a fiber NIC, a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet NIC, additional Type A USB or additional Type C USB. And then you have a flex port on the upper right, which gives you even more options. So you can expand this guy a ton. So this thing is super powerful, and it comes with the brand new Intel Ultra processor lineup. So you've got the Ultra 5, Ultra 7, and Ultra 9. I mentioned the operating systems. The unit I have came pre-installed with Windows 11 IoT LTSC 2024, which is amazing. You also have the optional Windows 11 Pro, the Chrome OS Flex, and some Linux distributions all supported on this box. Again, from that flex port 1 that I showed you, you can add all of these boards. The unit I have comes with the 2 extra USB ports, but you can add additional ports there, as well as that flex 2 port at the bottom there, where you can even add, again, an additional old school video adapter or old school serial port. Then down the middle here, we have the memory and storage options. This thing supports DDR5 5600 memory. The unit I have has 2 16 gig sticks in it for a total of 32 gig, but this thing you can expand it up to 96 gigs of RAM. It also has 2 NVMe slots. Right now, the one I have, you'll see, has a single 2 terabyte NVMe stick, but you can expand it all the way up to 4 terabytes. It's got the VESA mount, or the VESA mount with the power supply, so you can mount the power supply with it, because it does have a brick power supply, as well as a desktop mini vertical stand, the dust filter option, as well as the port cover, allowing you to lock that cover down. All right, let's take a look at some of the use cases. So this is where it gets a little interesting too, with the use cases. Starting with a retail point of sale, this is definitely where this unit is going to be the star. It's geared for this, absolutely. Point of sale, cash registers, product lookup, smart mirrors, concierge, loyalty and promotions, store surveillance. So again, video surveillance. This thing in a tiny little package, perfect to hook all your security cameras up to. As well as manager, back office, self-service, product information, digital signage. I mean, run 3 screens on this, add the additional flex options for additional screens. You can run a ton of digital signage off of this one unit. Hospitality, again, point of sale, cash register, or hotel concierge, where they have those desks where the hotels you sit down and you want to use the internet. Perfect units for those. Self-ordering kiosks. Great to throw this inside a self-ordering kiosk. Kitchen video systems, bar point of sale, self-check-in. And then where we do really well is your healthcare. So again, any type of kiosk, such as a patient self-admission, self-check-in kiosks, medical carts, any type of kiosk in a hospital or a cafeteria, again, cash registers, or any type of medical device diagnostic imaging. Tons of features. This thing has the horsepower to support all of this. And then this last one, which is becoming very popular, that's your AI use cases. And with the AI use case, it has the ability to do all of that extra AI, the horsepower to run all of your AI tools, so that you can enable smart mirrors, kitchen analytics, virtual assistants, or even drive-through assistants. I've seen this where some drive-throughs are now starting to use AI. And if you need a box to run the AI and the menu board, this guy's got the horsepower to do it. So then to recap, before we go into the actual running of the unit, supports all of those processors you see there, VESA mountable, tons of connectivity, and my favorite again, 10 years of support, which is fantastic, and again matches the Windows 11 10-year lifecycle. Sorry, Windows 11 IoT lifecycle. All right, let's jump in and take a look at the actual box that's running. So I have it sitting here on the desk, which you'll see in just a second. And this is it running the Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC. We'll take a look at that. So we'll jump over here and look at the system. The unit I have has a Core Ultra 5 235T running at 2.2 gigahertz, 32 gigs of DDR5 memory. And if I scroll down, you can see it's running the Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC 2024, build 24H2, completely updated. And it's been, if we look at the actual Microsoft licensing, it was activated with a digital license. So this unit came pre-installed with this product. And one of the reasons that HP can do that is because this qualifies as a thin client and it qualifies for that retail space. But if you're an OEM and you have your own CLA agreement, you can obviously buy these units without that and get the actual IoT licenses from Arrow and pre-install it. The other thing I like to look at on here is what all comes with Windows 11 LTSC, and you can see that it's pretty much the HP Wolf security. If I open up all the apps, the IoT LTSC product is stripped down. There's no Xbox News, weather. This is it. You get your Windows tools, you get Edge, you get the Intel Graphic Command Center, Intel Management and Security Status, and then you get your HP products, which is your documentation, your support assistant, and your HP Wolf security. Those all come. And that's it. That's what's installed on this box when you get it with Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC. So the other question I'll get a lot of time is people will want to see the exact build version, which I think I already showed that, but here's the WinVer. And then the other thing people like to see is see how much storage space was used. Now this unit came with a 2 terabyte drive, so you're not too concerned about that. And it's in its default load, it's using 70 gig of space, which is quite a bit more than a typical load of Windows 11 LTSC, but I think a lot of that is the swap space. That's the swap space because of the 32 gigs of memory and the larger drive and the recycle bin. You can obviously pull that down, and then the HP apps and the documentation are taking up quite a bit of space. A typical 11 LTSC install only takes up 20 gig. So this one's using 70 gig for the extra stuff, but you could easily go in and remove some of those apps and tweak the swap space and things like that to bring that down. But again, this is a 2 terabyte drive. I don't think you're really concerned about running out of space or having an issue with disk space when it's got a 2 terabyte NVMe in it. The product is running. Now let's just do this. Let's shut her down and let's take a look at the actual box. And it is turned off now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you what I had plugged in here. So here you have your power. I'm going to unplug the power. And it does have a power brick. So the power supply is external. And that's where you get that VESA mount that can hold the power brick too if needed. But here you can see the Ethernet port, the Thunderbolt port, and then here are these 2 flex ports. And the one up here that I have right there, this flex port, let's see if it'll focus. This flex port is using USB Type A, and then the other flex port is USB Type C. And then I'm going to unplug the keyboard and mouse that I had plugged in. And you can see those were using those 2 USB Type A. So this box configured this way has 4 USB Type A on the rear, 2 Type C on the rear, a Thunderbolt, which can also be used as a Type C. And then it's got your 2 display port, and then lastly the HDMI 2.1 that I was using to show you the OS running. So let me move this out the way. The box, it is, and here's the front. Let's go over the front too real quick. So the front, like I was saying, the power button sort of blends in. It blends in pretty good. I kind of wish they would put some kind of marking so you can see it, but it does light up when you turn it on. Headphone jack, 2 Type A, 1 Type C. And then you've got your logo for your Intel Core i5. And then let's take a look at the Microsoft license, because I get this question a lot too. How do you know it has a Windows license? So this came directly from HP. They would be considered a direct OEM, so they don't have a typical Koa sticker. They have a Koa hologram that literally just says Windows on it. And it's kind of hard to see there, and then you've got your barcode with all the details which would include the serial number and I'm sure an asset tag. You've got 4 rubber feet, as well as the mounting points for your VESA mount there. All right, so how do you get into this guy? If we look on the back, there's a thumb screw right here, and you just loosens it, and it's one that doesn't fall out, so it stays there, so you can't lose it. And then this is kind of it's tight. So let's see. If I remember how to do this, you push. There we go. It slides. It slides just a little bit and then opens up. The one thing I will point out here is this is the little thing that slides out so you can lock the case. It's easier for me to do it with the case open, but that little thing sticks out the back and allows you to put a padlock or lock it so people can't open the case. So again, that's nice to have. And then we'll take a look here at the actual unit itself. And again, this is the rear of it. So starting inside with those two flex ports, let's look at those. This is the top flex port, and it's got two screws that hold it into place. One here, and then it's got this ribbon cable that loops around and plugs in down here on the bottom. Let's see if we can rotate this guy. There you go, you can see that it plugs in right there. And then, so that's how easy it is to install one of those. Two screws, it pops in and plugs in right down there. And then the other port module, which you would do first, is this guy. And it also just has two screws, which I'm probably gonna have a little difficulty seeing, but yeah, you can see one of the screws over there, and there's another one on that side. And it pops in and screws down. Now you have the NVMe drive, which there's a 2 terabyte one here and an expansion slot for another one here. Very easy to install. It even has the little clip things, so you pop it in and out. Toolless. You don't need to lose those little screws. You literally just pop it in and out with the little thing here. Then you have the Intel Wi-Fi module. This supports Wi-Fi 7 on Windows 11. Your Wi-Fi with an antenna, a little antenna that runs along there. And then this thing here on the back is a speaker. That's your speaker. And then this section here, underneath here is your processor. And you can see the start of the Intel socket right there. And you would actually unscrew this and 3 more. Let's see if I can show those 3. 1, 2, 3. They're even labeled 1, 2, and 3. And that would allow you to lift this heatsink out, which I'm not going to do. But I will show you how easy it is to get to the RAM, because initially it looked difficult, but it is literally this easy. You literally just pick this fan up and it comes out. And you move it over. And here you have your DDR5 memory. 2 sockets. Let's see if I can get a little closer on that. 2 DDR5 memory sockets just pop in right there. The little cover goes down, and then this little fan swings around. So easy to replace this fan too. Well, if this fan were to go bad, you can easily replace it. And I like that all the part numbers have the barcode, so you can get replacement for all of these. Super easy to work on this machine. Tons of horsepower packed into this little tiny package. I am super impressed with it. 10-year life cycle to go along with the Windows 11 10. I love that. So let's come back to me and let me finish up and again remind you. Super powerful box supporting the Ultra 5, 7, and 9 Intel processors. It has the ability to support the VESA mounts to go on the back of displays and even mount the brick power supply. It's got tons of connectivity for such a tiny little box. I don't think you're going to have any issues of worrying about ports with this thing. And then again, as I've stated, my favorite, a 10-year life cycle to match the Windows 11 LTSC, IoT Enterprise LTSC 2024 life cycle that also has 10 years. If you have any questions about this product, reach out to us here at Arrow at the email address I'm showing you right there. Send us an email, contact me, the Windows Champ here at Arrow, and I can help you get in touch with our sales team that can get you a quote on one of these HP Flex Mini G2s. And as always, we also can support your Windows IoT business. Reach out to us at Arrow. Thank you guys. for watching.